Is it possible to beat a Pokemon Nuzlocke using only Pokemon that start with the letter B? Yeah, it absolutely is. There are a lot of starting Pokemon that begin with the letter B, so we have a lot of options of what game to play. I decided to try this challenge on Pokemon Y because I don't see a lot of Gen 6 gameplay, and we can get more than one starter. I'll be playing with standard Hardcore Nuzlocke rules, so I can only catch the first Pokemon on each route. If a Pokemon faints, I have to release it. I can't overlevel above the next gym leader's highest level, I can't use items in battle, and I must play on set mode. The special rules for this challenge are I can only catch a Pokemon if it starts with the letter B, or it evolves into something that does. If my encounter is a non-B Pokemon or a duplicate, I can reroll until I get something unique that starts with the letter B. I'm also not allowed to evolve a Pokemon if its evolved forms don't start with the letter B. When I tried this challenge with a Pokemon, I lost to Marshall in the Elite Four, so I'm ready for a win this time. This is a quick Nuzlocke using only B Pokemon. I name myself B, and then ditch all the Pokemon I have at home that start with the wrong letter. I pick Fennekin as my starter, who evolves into Braixen, but I can only get it to its middle evolution. I decide to name him Bernie. Unlike my last challenge, I actually get a few encounters before the first gym. There are 3 routes where I can get encounters, and each have multiple Pokemon that start with the letter B. In the Santaloon Forest, I find a Caterpie, who can evolve into Butterfree. I catch her and name her Bedbug. Now, I'm guaranteed to get Bunnelby on Route 2, who I catch and name Bounce. On Route 22, I find a Asiago, is that you? Good times. I actually find our beautiful boy Bidoof. I catch him and I name him Big Tooth. The level cap for the first gym is 12, so I can evolve Bedbug into a Metapod and then into a Butterfree. At the first gym, we find Viola and her Bug-type Pokemon. Viola has a Surskit and a Vivillon, and Surskit comes out first. Surskit's Water typing plus Water Sport make fire moves pretty weak. So I switch Bedbug in. 2 confusions can't quite take Surskit out. So Viola uses a potion, and Bedbug uses 2 more confusions to knock Surskit out. For Vivillon, I switch back to Bernie, and it takes 2 Embers to knock it out. Badge number 1 was pretty easy. On Route 4, I caught a Budew, and named her Bloomsley. I led the B Squad to Lumiose City. Here, I actually get a second starter Pokemon. And I have a choice to make. Bulbasaur obviously fits the requirements of the challenge, but so does Squirtle, since it evolves into Blastoise. I can't evolve Bulbasaur into Ivysaur or Venusaur, so Squirtle is the clear choice. I name Squirtle Boom Boom. Continuing on, Bernie reaches his final evolution for this challenge, and Big Tooth evolves into his actual final evolution as well. Most of the encounters in this challenge are in the early game. The split through the second gym is a pretty long one, so I'm able to pick up an Oddish, who can evolve into Blossom, as long as you evolve Gloom with the Sunstone. I'm also able to catch a Bagon and a Binnacle. You may be thinking, wow, there's a ton of encounters, how is this even going to be a challenge? But my rules prevent me from evolving a lot of these Pokemon. Like, Bunnelby will be a Bunnelby forever, so he'll become useless very quickly. Up next is the Rock-type Pokemon from Grant, who just has the 2 fossil Pokemon in this region. Grant sends Amora out first. Rock Smash will be a 2-hit KO, especially after the defense drop. However, I don't get access to Cherry Berries yet, so I have to hit through Paralysis. Big Tooth can't hit through, but that's no problem. But a second full Paralysis? Starting to be a problem. Luckily, Amara is dealing minimal damage, but Big Tooth gets paralyzed a 3rd straight time. Finally, Big Tooth hits through and knocks out Amara with a 1-hit KO, thanks to the defense drop and the crit. Grant sends Tyrunt out next. Rock Dragon is a tough type combo for this team. Big Tooth can't do much, so I switch in Basilisk, but she can't do too much either. I risked a crit on her, and it was very risky. Boom Boom has similar struggles, only taking down Tyron's health by a bit, but taking massive damage. The same thing happened with Blisters. I really had to cycle through all of my Pokemon to take out one of his. Begonia is able to finish the job, and we get the second badge. Bloomsley evolves into nothing. In Reflection Cave, I found and caught a Roggenrola, which evolves into Boldor. I named it Bluegrass. Pokemon X and Y are not the most challenging games, but Reflection Cave is definitely an exception. I was in a very tough situation against a trainer that has a Hawlucha. I had to make the decision to sacrifice Bloomsley in order to get a safe switch into Boom Boom to win the fight. Backtracking to the Pokemon Center, I ran into this double battle that I skipped on the way in. This is not exactly the ideal situation that you'd want going into a double battle. The AI targeted Bernie in this fight, and he didn't make it out alive. Honestly, this could have been much worse. I picked up the Eviolite, which is a critical item for this challenge. It increases the defense and special defense of a Pokemon that isn't fully evolved. And hey, that's basically my whole team. Bluegrass reached their final evolution for this challenge, and now we face Karina and her fighting type Pokemon. Bedbug is my ace in this fight, and easily knocks out Mindfu. Bedbug also puts Machoke to sleep, and KOs it with no additional damage. Hawlucha is definitely the scariest part of this fight, but her attacks still don't do that much to Bedbug. She puts Hawlucha to sleep, but Gust isn't quite a 2-hit KO. I use Silverwind to avoid a potion from Karina, but Hawlucha wakes up. I decide to risk a crit and stay in to knock Hawlucha out with one final Gust. That's a sweep from Bedbug. Karina's Lucario really wants me to be its trainer, but I ditch it as soon as I can. Sorry, buddy. Come talk to me when I only use L Pokemon. I also grabbed the Sunstone for Begonia on Route 13. Fourth up is this extremely old man and his grass Pokemon. Jumpluff launches a devastating Acrobatics into Bedbug, but she retaliates with an Acrobatics of her own, which knocks Jumpluff out. Gogoat comes out next, and I switch into Begonia. Gogoat kills Begonia with a crit takedown. I send Basilisk out, and thanks to some clutch misses, she's actually able to knock down Gogoat's health twice. Big Tooth came in, put Gogoat to sleep, and eventually knocked it out. I had to sack Bounce to get a safe switch into Basilisk, who knocked out Weepinbell for our fourth badge. Boom Boom completed his evolution into Blastoise. The fifth gym is Electric-type Pokemon, and I can get a Barboach on Route 14. Barboach is part ground, which completely nullifies electric moves. However, X and Y are notorious for not letting you through to additional routes before you beat the gym. So no Barboach for me yet. Also, I had to catch something to teach Fly since none of my Pokemon could learn it, and apparently I caught the largest Wingull to ever exist. Clement and his electric Pokemon are the fifth gym challenge. Magneton used Mirror Shot on Big Tooth, which procced an accuracy drop. This caused Big Tooth to miss his dig and then get OHKO'd by Magneton. Because Big Tooth has the simple ability, its accuracy was actually lowered by 2 stages. This, plus missing a 100% base accuracy dig, has about an 18% chance of happening. It's unfortunate, but not really that unlucky. This set off a complete spiral of deaths, as Clement knocked all of my Pokemon out, and I lost. My team was already really hurting. This kind of felt inevitable. On Attempt 2, I was still reeling from my loss in Attempt 1. My early game encounters were Caterpie, Weedle, who evolves into Beedrill, and then Burmy. This is quite possibly the worst combination of encounters that I could get. First, Burmy only knows Protect until level 10. Because this stupid game doesn't give you the experience share until after the first gym, training Burmy is a nightmare. And I'd have to train Kakuna and Metapod. Also, having a bunch of bugs for the bug gym isn't very great. It would be much better to have Bidoof or Bunnelby, who can do stab normal moves to Surskit. I was still tilting from Attempt 1 and tilting from my encounters, so I put about 1% effort into this gym fight. Losing, it honestly felt like a relief. I don't want to talk about Attempt 2 anymore. Let's move on. On Attempt 3, I had the same encounters that I did on Attempt 1. Bunnelby, Caterpie, and Bidoof. Gym 1 was successful again, with Big Tooth taking out Surskit and Bernie taking out Vivian. Gym 2 was another team battle, but not quite as scary. A different but equally terrible trainer in Reflection Cave forced me to sack Bloomsley again. Maybe one day you'll make it out of this cave alive, buddy. Bernie was a huge asset during the third gym fight because, well, he was actually still alive. He was able to take out Mindfu and Machoke very easily. Bedbug came in and took all of Hawlucha's attacks and was able to knock it out. Having Bernie alive is also beneficial for Ramon, the fourth gym leader. He was able to take out the Jumpluff and then tanked a Bulldoze from Go-Goat. The relief from Bernie allowed Bedbug to switch in on a Bulldoze. Bedbug finished the job by taking out the Go-Goat and then by knocking out the Weeping Bell. 2 deaths in this battle last time, 0 this time. Good thing Bagon evolves into Belgon and then Balamence, right guys? Right? Please? Even with 3 additional team members from last time, I know that Clement is still going to be a challenge. Magneton's Mirror Shot causes another accuracy drop for my team. And then Bernie misses his Flame Charge. Seriously, what the hell is up with this sequence of events? So I switched to Begonia to put Magneton to sleep. Here's my big mistake. I should have switched back to Bernie on a safe sleep turn and taken it out with 2 Flame Charges. Instead, I wasted a turn and Bernie came in late. Magneton woke up on the second turn that it could, and it killed Bernie. Absolutely punished for not playing efficiently. Big Tooth came in and knocked Magneton out with a dig. Heliolisk almost O-code Big Tooth, but he retaliated with a dig. I figured I had to sack something here, so I picked the Pokemon that couldn't evolve. But Basilisk was like, not today, I'm using my Quick Claw, baby. I actually tried to sack her again, but she really was not interested in dying. So, she gets to live. Bluegrass knocked out Emolga to get us the 5th badge. Truly one of the sloppiest fights I've ever had, and basically a miracle that I only had 1 death. I had a truly awful time trying to catch a Bellsprout from this Horde encounter. I decided to get the Bellsprout encounter on Route 14 instead of the Barboach encounter. I did finally catch one though, and I named her Bulby. I also went fishing to catch a Basculin. I did catch her, and I named her Barracuda. I waited to evolve Begonia at level 41 so that it could learn Moonlight, but then I evolved her into Blossom. Blisters also evolved into Barbaracle. The 6th gym is Valerie and her Fairy-type Pokemon. Admittedly, I don't have a lot of experience with Fairy Pokemon since they just started in this generation. Big Tooth does a great job at knocking down Mawile's health a full 2 times, but Valerie uses 2 Hyper Potions. I send Blisters in to kill Mawile. For Mr. Mime, I switch into Boom Boom, and with Reflect Up, a few Surfs knock her out. Finally, for Sylveon, I use Begonia. I use Toxic on the Sylveon, and then use Moonlight to stall out Toxic turns. Eventually, Sylveon dies, and we have our 6th gym badge. On Route 15, we can encounter Poniard, who evolves into a Bisharp. I catch him and name him Blade. The last truly relevant encounter we can get is in Frost Cavern, but there are 2 possible encounters: Bergmite and Cubchoo. Bergmite evolves into Avalugg, so I have to keep it as a Bergmite, but Cubchoo evolves into Bearctic. That means Cubchoo is the encounter I want to try to get. The bad news is that both Pokemon are only available in the Frost Cavern, and they have the exact same chance of coming up on every floor. The good news is that Cubchoo is available through Horde encounters in the Frost Cavern. But how do you guarantee a Horde encounter? Well, there's a move called Sweet Scent. If you use Sweet Scent in the overworld, it will automatically trigger a Horde battle. And, luckily for me, my terrible, completely useless Bellsprout now has a purpose. By going to the move tutor and spending a heart scale, I can have Bulby relearn Sweet Scent. Then, I go to Frost Cavern, stand on the first square to not trigger a regular encounter, and I use Sweet Scent from Bellsprout. This does give us a horde of Cubchews. I knock 4 of the 5 of them out and catch the last one and name her Baloo. Don't you just love it when you come up with a convoluted solution to a random set of rules that you've made up? Delicious. Frost Cavern is also home to a trainer with a brutally challenging Mind Chow. I had to sack Bulby and Bedbug in this fight. For Gym 7, we find Olympia and her Psychic-type Pokemon. And finally, we get a matchup that is good for our team's strengths. Baloo takes out Siglif with 2 Icicle Crashes. I switch in Blisters, who takes no damage to knock out Slowking, and Blisters stays in to 2-hit KO Meowstic. I defeated Yveltal once before I realized that the game actually forces you to catch this legendary Pokemon. I'm sure the game actually told me that, but I was a little too busy clicking A as fast as I could to, read the text. In the last fight against Lysander, Barracuda missed his Aqua Tail, Blisters got crit on Switch In, and then Pyroar got a flinch on Blisters. This was a super scrappy fight. Blisters had to be sacrificed to the Mega Gyarados, and Begonia couldn't survive the toxic stalling. 2 critical members of the team were lost late in the run. We did get our final evolution though. You also have to fight Shauna and then Tierno back to back with no healing. Shauna gave me quite a critical hit scare. I also had to sacrifice one of our oldest team members. Goodbye, Bounce. Thank you for your service. I was also able to catch a Barboach, but it was a little bit too late for her to be relevant. The last gym is Wolfric and his ice Pokemon. Luckily, I have a large metal robot to take care of this. I decided to give Blade the Expert Belt to guarantee predictable kills on Wolfric's Pokemon. By doing so, I couldn't give him a Persim Berry. Cryogonal is faster and uses Confuse Ray, but Blade is a champ and he hits through. And then he hits through again, and he gets a flinch. And then he hits through again. We now have all 8 badges and can take on the Elite Four, after we absolutely destroy Calum. Now's a good time to note that I haven't and won't be doing any Mega Evolutions of my Pokemon. Since I'm not allowed to evolve any Pokemon if the evolutions don't start with a B, I can't. All Mega Evolutions start with the word Mega, so this is banned in my rule set. After some unfortunate casualties at the end of this game, we have our Elite Four team. This includes Barracuda, Bluegrass, Big Tooth, Boom Boom, Baloo, and Blade. I leveled up, planned out my strategy, and entered the Elite Four. In this game, you can pick what order to fight the Elite Four in. The most logical way is to start with the easiest fight, so that your Pokemon will be higher levels for the later fights. I decide to take on Malva and her Fire-type Pokemon first. With a fast water Pokemon in Barracuda, this should be the easiest fight. Barracuda starts with a 1-hit KO Waterfall on Pyroar. The one of Malva's Pokemon that Barracuda can't outspeed is Talonflame. Even the highest roll crit Brave Bird won't kill Barracuda, and a Waterfall takes Talonflame out. The Lumberry saved Barracuda from the Flame Body proc. Surf knocks out Torkoal because of its high defense, and a Waterfall knocks out Chandelure. Next, I choose to fight Drasna and her Dragon-type Pokemon. According to my calculations, my Ice-type Pokemon, Baloo, can knock out all of Drasna's Pokemon in one hit. The issue is that to do this, I need to hit with Icicle Crash, which only has a 90% base accuracy. Baloo is also slower than Drasna's Altaria, who knows Sing, and can put her to sleep. So I can either give Baloo a wide lens to increase the chances of Icicle Crash hitting, or I can give her a Chesto Berry for Sing. I opt for the Chesto Berry since multiple turns of sleep sound worse than 1 or 2 missed Icicle Crashes. Baloo just needs to hit 2 Icicle Crashes to win this fight. The first one hits and knocks out Dragalge. Next out is Noivern, who is 4 times weak to ice moves, so I could still guarantee a kill with 100% accurate Ice Beam, even though Baloo's special attack is much lower. For Druddigon, Baloo just needs to hit her second Icicle Crash, which she does. 1 Pokemon left. Again, Baloo is slower, so I'm waiting for the Sing, and Altaria uses Dragon Pulse. Ice Beam is enough to finish this fight against Drasna. Third, I choose to fight Wickstrom and his Steel Pokemon. The plan is for Blade to knock out all of the Pokemon after using Sword Stance to get to +2 attack. One issue is that Wickstrom's Probopass has the Sturdy ability. Probopass would live a hit from Blade and then launch a devastating Earth power. I want to avoid this at all costs, so I come up with a different strategy. I start by sending out Bluegrass. Klefki uses Torment, which is the best case scenario, and I set up a Stealth Rock. I switch Bluegrass out and Blade in, as Klefki uses Spikes, which is also great since ideally I won't be switching anymore. I set up a Swords Dance, as Klefki uses Torment. This could be really bad, depending on the order of Wickstrom's Pokemon. Ironhead Okos the Klefki, and one Night Slash takes out the Aegislash. Probopass comes out next, but the pointed stones from Stealth Rock break the Sturdy, so Brick Break can knock it out in one hit. Last is Scizor, and a Night Slash with Black classes is enough to win us the fight. The last member of the Elite Four is Seabold and his Water-type Pokemon. Without Begonia, it looks like this will be the hardest of the Elite Four members. My plan for this fight is the first intentional sacrifice, and then a sweep using Blade. It doesn't seem like any of my Pokemon can successfully 1v1 Seabold's Clawitzer, so I have to get creative. I send out Bluegrass, who has the ability Sturdy. Clawitzer launches a one-hit KO Water Pulse, but because of Sturdy, Bluegrass hangs on with 1 HP. And then he goes boom. A Confusion and Self-Hit would have totally ruined this plan, but otherwise it was the best thing I could come up with. I don't know who Seabold will send out, so I send Barracuda out. It's Gyarados, and Barracuda has a pretty bad matchup here. I send Big Tooth out, so I can put Gyarados to sleep. It doesn't see a kill, so it goes for a Dragon Dance. Gyarados still doesn't see a kill, and does Dragon Dance again. I go for a Yawn to guarantee sleep next turn. Expecting an attack this turn, I go for Protect, and Gyarados uses Earthquake. Yawn Protect is a pretty good combo. I switch into Blade to start my setup. I need Gyarados to sleep 2 additional turns in order for this strategy to work. I go for my setup move and... pain. So much pain. I'm sitting here with 2 dead Pokemon and have only knocked 1 of Seabold's out. I'm in huge danger here, and I'm seriously getting flashbacks to losing in the final Elite Four member in my last challenge. I have to rework my plan, and that means sending Big Tooth out first. Seabold gets greedy and goes for another Dragon Dance, and I go for another Yawn to put Gyarados to sleep next turn. I, of course, go for Protect, but Gyarados uses Dragon Dance again. Just when I think I understand the AI, it does stuff like this. Big Tooth just kinda seems to be chillin' though, so good for him. I switch into Baloo on Gyarados' guaranteed sleep turn. Gyarados stays asleep, and Baloo hits an Icicle Crash. Unfortunately, it does low roll, and does under 50% damage. Naturally, Gyarados wakes up and just freaking uses Dragon Dance again. Were you not strong and fast enough already? Icicle Crash hits, and actually crits. That really shouldn't have worked out that well. Against Barbaracle, I can only die to a high roll cross chop crit, so I stay in and use Grass Knot. I switch to a faster Barracuda as Seabold heals up. Barbaracle can't kill me even with a crit, so 2 waterfalls knock it out. For Starmie, I switch in Big Tooth on a Psychic, and since I'm slower, I risk a crit to stay in to put Starmie to sleep. I switch to Baloo on the sleep turn, and Starmie stays asleep another turn. From here, it's pretty safe, as Grass Knot does a lot of damage. Starmie wakes up, but can't kill with a Surf, and Baloo knocks Starmie out to defeat the last Elite Four member. That was quite a roller coaster of a battle. So now I have to find a way to defeat the champion with just 4 Pokemon, and 3 of them are either Water or Water Normal type. So I adjust my plan, heal my Pokemon up, and take on the champion, Diantha. Diantha leads with Hawlucha, and I lead with Barracuda. Barracuda outspeeds and 2-hit KOs Hawlucha, and she never dies to Flying Press. After Diantha heals back up and Barracuda knocks its health back down, Barracuda knocks Hawlucha out with a Waterfall. Aurorus comes out next. I sat here planning for a while before I realized, wait, Barracuda outspeeds and kills this with Waterfall. Thanks for the freebie, Diantha. I'm expecting a Seed Bomb from Gourgeist, so I switch in Baloo. But Diantha uses Trick or Treat to turn Baloo into a part Ghost type. This gives me a free switch to the normal type Big Tooth on the incoming Phantom Force. I now know that Diantha likes to use Trick or Treat on non-ghost type Pokemon, so I stay in and use a Yawn. I protect from the incoming Seed Bomb, and then Gourgeist falls asleep. On the sleep turn, I switch to Baloo. Gourgeist stays asleep on the first turn, and then Baloo misses an Icicle Crash. This miss is totally fine. Gourgeist wakes up this turn, but just uses Trick or Treat again. This time, Icicle Crash hits, and Oko's Gourgeist. This Pokemon and the way the AI uses it is a complete joke. I have no idea why the champion has this. Tyrantrum is next, and I know he sees a kill on Baloo with Head Smash. Unfortunately, Tyrantrum will kill all of my Pokemon with a Head Smash, except for one. So, I switch into Boom Boom, who takes the Head Smash like an absolute champ. The best play here is for Boom Boom to attack, and then be sacrificed to another Head Smash. There's a decent chance that the recoil from Head Smash will kill Tyrantrum. Boom Boom sacrifices his life, and the recoil kills Tyrantrum. I think Gardevoir is coming out next, so I send in Barracuda, and Diantha sends out Goodra. Does the Gen 6 AI always save the Mega Evolution for last? If anybody knows how this works, definitely let me know, because I have no idea. Anyways, the plan was for Baloo to take out Goodra. Unfortunately, if I switch Baloo in, 2 Dragon Pulses will definitely kill her before she can even attack. I decide to just stay in, since Barracuda can take all Dragon Pulses that don't crit. Barracuda hits a Waterfall, which crits herself. Goodra launches a Dragon Pulse, which hits hard but doesn't crit, so Barracuda lives. Return is actually stronger and has a good chance of killing here, so I use Return and it knocks Goodra out. Diantha is down to her final Pokemon, Gardevoir. Somehow, I've managed to make it to this point with 3 Pokemon alive. This is the first time I think, holy crap, I actually might win this fight. On the last Pokemon, I just need to go for it. Diantha activates her Mega Ring and evolves Gardevoir into Mega Gardevoir. Based on my calcs, I am fully expecting to be slower here, and somehow I'm not, and Barracuda freaking crits. I just beat the champion with 4 Pokemon, and 3 of them lived. I'll admit, I had some sloppy fights during this run, but the champion fight was not one of them. I've never done so much calculating, so much planning in order to win. This victory feels so sweet. My Hardcore Nuzlocke using only B Pokemon is officially a success. I lost a lot of Pokemon along the way, but in the end, I actually beat the Elite Four using a really weird team, and it was really fun. I really hope you enjoyed this challenge run. If you're interested in seeing more of these Hardcore Nuzlocke challenge videos, definitely subscribe to the channel. Also, it would be awesome if you liked the video or left a comment. You can tell me which Pokemon name I mispronounced, or you can just write Bidoof. We all love Bidoof. As always, this has been a quick Nuzlocke. Thank you so much for watching.